a family holiday and I thought I would do a weekly reading vlog. Today is Friday the 20th of June. I drove some of the way today, so I didn't really get much footage on the way up. But we are now here. I've inserted some clips of the cottage we are staying in, and yeah, I'll show you the books that I have got. We are literally 15 minutes away from Hay on Wye though, so I will be getting a trip in there, which I'm super excited about. So because of that, I did only bring 3 books, I think, which the Wi-Fi isn't really very good here, so I'm glad I bought 3 books because I think I'm going to get a lot of reading done this week. And I did also bring my Kindle, but I'm not sure how many books I actually have downloaded on there, so that could be an issue with the Wi-Fi. But yeah, I'll show you the books that I have brought. So I've got Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, The Summer I Destroyed You by Elizabeth O'Rourke, and Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. And I've just realised I did not bring a bookmark. Okay, I've been in here for a while now and I think the Wi-Fi actually is working okay. We found the router is in one of the other bedrooms, so it seems to be working a lot better upstairs than it was downstairs. But yeah, the road to get to this cottage is very narrow and we're going to try not to go out unless we absolutely have to. So I think we're going to be here for a couple of hours before we go find a shop and get some stuff for dinner. So I think I'm just going to sit and read already. I think I might go with Better Than the Movies because I posted this a few times on my TikTok and a lot of people have said that like I need to read it. So I think, yeah, I'm going to start with this one and I need to find something that I can use for a bookmark. Good morning, it is our first full day here in Wales. It is just gone 10:30, so we've got up, had a breakfast, and I think we're going to head to some waterfalls today. I started Better Than the Movies last night and I'm halfway through chapter 3 and the chapters are really long and I am liking it so far. So we have Liz and Wes and it's their story and they live opposite each other. They have this feud over a parking spot and this boy has come back to town that Liz has always had a crush on and she has just kind of asked Wes to make this deal with her so that she can get to a party and hopefully impress this other guy. But I think obviously Wes and Liz are going to end up together in the end. I think it's going to be really cute. I wouldn't say I'm loving it so far, but like as I said, I'm only halfway through chapter 3, so we'll see. At 4 o'clock, we've just got back. We didn't end up going to the waterfalls because there was absolutely nowhere to park, so we just kind of drove around some reservoirs. Then we found a spot to have lunch and I just kind of let out. I didn't really read too much, but then we popped into the closest town to where we're staying and found some books in the charity shop. There's also The Works and WH Smith there and I had a look in them and I did find some books that I wanted to get, but I'm going to wait until I've been to Hay on Wye because I'd rather spend my money there in the independent bookstores. But if I don't find anything there, I'm definitely going to go back to the WH Smith because they had such a good selection. I will show you the books I found in the charity shops. First off, I got No More Secrets by Lucy Score. And then I found this one, which I was actually kind of shocked. It was Quarterback Sneak by Candy Steiner. I have read this one, but it was only £1.49, so I didn't want to leave it behind and I am reading this series. I was going to buy another one in this series in this matching paperback the other day, so now I might go back and get the one that I was going to so I can start collecting that edition. And then the other one I found was Forgotten Rules by Elia Greenwood. I haven't read anything by this author, but I have some books by them on my wish list, and I think this is a brother's best friend age gap romance and it's really thick. Yeah, there's no plans for the rest of the day now. We are going to be having a barbecue for dinner, so I am going to go downstairs now. Jamie's just making us some peach iced tea, so I think I might just sit in the garden, have a peach iced tea and try and read another chapter or 2 of Better Than the Movie so I can actually give a proper reading update because I haven't really read that much today. Sorry if you can hear the fan. So I'm honestly considering DNFing Better Than the Movies. I'm just under 150 pages in and like it's cute, but honestly it's not keeping my attention. I'm kind of bored and I've been in a reading slump for a couple of weeks. I haven't finished a book in way over a week. I've just not been reading, and this just isn't grabbing me, so I'm thinking I might pick up the Elsie Silver book I brought instead and give that a go, and maybe I'll go back to this. It's just been so hyped, and I've had loads of comments on TikTok when I've mentioned this book of people saying how amazing it is and that I need to read it, so I was just really excited, and I'm not loving it, and it has like such a good Goodreads rating, so I generally don't know if there's something I'm missing or if I need to keep going and something amazing is gonna happen. But yeah, like, it's not bad, it's just not hooking me. It is a Sunday, so today we went to Hay on Wye, so I will insert the clips from that now. I first went to Hay on Wye 2 years ago and went to Hay Festival, and I had an amazing time, and I was really excited to go back. Obviously today's a Sunday and I wasn't sure if everything was going to be open, so I did some research and it said that pretty much everything was open 7 days a week, and we got there and half of it was shut. So I'm hoping that we are going to get to go back during the week to be able to go into the shops that were closed, because my favourite store from last time was shut. And then there was another one that did have a really good selection of books, and I know they're independent and I really do want to support independent bookstores, but they were like more expensive than buying them in Waterstones. So I did only get 3 books today, but depending on how the rest of the week goes, if we do go back, there are some more that I might get in another shop. So in Addieman Avenue bookstore, I picked up 3 books. So I got The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, The Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf, and The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human, all by Kimberly Lemming, and they were all £4.95. I went to an independent bookstore back in April, and the woman working there recommended one of these to my friend, and I'm pretty sure I know some people that have read this and they all said it's really good. So I thought for £4.95 I would get the 3 and give them a go. I had a read on the back, and I don't particularly read monster romance, but I do love fantasy romance, so they're quite short. I think if they'll be easy to binge if I like them. So, and the covers are just gorgeous. Then my mum also picked me up a coaster when she went into one of the other shops. So it's just this little coaster with a dragon on, and it says time spent reading is never wasted. So yeah, that was my little haul from Hay on Wye, but I suppose I did get 3 books at the charity shop yesterday, so I have now bought 6 books so far. Reading update, I have DNF'd Better Than the Movies. I got to 200 pages, and I know it's YA and I knew it was going to be like cutesy, but it was just a little bit too cutesy for me. I think it's just the slump I'm in. It was so predictable, and because it was so predictable, I just didn't want to continue reading. It was like, I know what's going to happen, so I want to read something else. So I put that down. I may go back to it, like I've taken note of the page that I ended it on, but I decided to pick up The Summer I Destroyed You by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I started it last night and I read a chapter this morning, and I'm up to page 28, which is the start of chapter 6. Again, I think it's just me, but I'm not loving this one either. And I read the first 3 books in The Summer series by Elizabeth O'Rourke on holiday last year, and I binged them. The 3rd one in the series is one of my all-time favourite books, so I was like, I'm gonna bring the next one with me on holiday because I've loved all 3, and I'm just not really liking the main character of this, but I feel like that might be intentional. So we have Emmy, and she has returned to the town she grew up in, and she's determined to destroy it. And then we have Liam, who is one of the construction workers in this town, who's trying to save it. So it's like enemies to lovers, but I'm just not liking the female main character. I'm gonna keep going, obviously only 30 pages in, and I'm gonna give it a fair chance. I just don't really know what's wrong with me at the minute. A couple of weeks ago I just kind of wasn't enjoying reading at all. I didn't want to, and I've got now into the stage that I do really want to read, but just nothing is keeping my attention. So I'm hoping that I will get into this. If not, I will move on to the Elsie Silver book I brought with me, because I've heard so many good things about that one and I love Elsie Silver. So third time lucky with that one, but hopefully this one's going to kick in and it's going to be really good. In the same spot, but it is the next day and I have just finished The Summer I Destroyed You, and I would give it 4 stars. It's definitely my least favourite in the series so far. This is the story of Emmy and Liam. So Emmy was bullied during her childhood and really badly bullied in high school due to her weight, and she has returned to the town that she grew up in to stay with her mother, but also to try and get ahead with this like business deal that's going to help with her career. And she does not have a good relationship with her mum either, so she just kind of hates everyone, wants to get revenge on everyone. And she meets Liam, who also lives in this town, and he is the complete opposite of her, but he kind of sees through her act, and he is always there for her, always kind of fighting her corner against people in this town who just do not like her. And I really liked him as a character, and I loved that about him. It was very easy to read, so I started it yesterday. It was just over 300 pages, 304 pages. So I read it over 2 days, and I don't think I've read a book that quick in maybe a month. So it was good in that aspect. This wasn't my absolute favourite, but now it's time to move on to Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I'm so excited. I've heard so many good things about the main character Weston in this, and that he is competition for, is it Cade in the second book in the Chestnut Spring series, who I absolutely loved. So I'm hoping that we are finally gonna get a 5-star read, but at least I finally finished a book. Tuesday. Today we went back to Hay on Wye because I wanted to go in the stores that were shut when we went on Sunday, and unfortunately one of them that was open on Sunday that I didn't get to go in was shut today. But I don't think we're going to go back. I picked up 2 books. So the first one I got was The Wicked in Me by Suzanne Wright. I've been eyeing this one up in Waterstones. And then I got Enchantra by Katie Smith. I finished Phantasma last month and I absolutely loved it, so I needed to pick up this one. And then we went to a garden centre for coffee and cake, though I didn't have anything. But yeah, now we are back at the cottage for a few hours, so I think I'm going to read some of Wild Eyes. I started it yesterday. I think I'm like 60 pages in, and I am really liking it so far. So we have Skylar Stone, who is a pop star, and she's kind of had enough of being controlled, so she has come to Wild Rose Records, which book 1 was basically about that and the guy that runs it. So she has come away and she is staying in the bunkhouse of Weston, who is a single dad, and it is so cute so far. I really think this is going to be a 5-star. Like I said, I think we're just going to be here for a couple of hours now, and then we're going to head back into the local town to get some dinner tonight. Wednesday. So today we went for a drive around Elan Valley, which is so beautiful. We go there like every year, but the usual place we kind of stop was actually closed off now and you can't actually go there. So we sat in a different spot and it was still just as lovely, and I read some more of Wild Eyes. So I'm up to chapter 24, which is page 263. I'm hoping to finish this by the time I go home. Tomorrow is our last full day, so I think I probably can finish this by the end of the holiday. But I did actually pop into the works last night and I bought another book. So they had Alive and Wells by Bailey Hannah. I think this is a cowboy romance. I went in there looking for, I think it's called Afterglow. It's a new sprayed edge like special edition, but they didn't have it and I thought it wasn't out until the 26th, but I had seen people on TikTok getting it already, so I think I'm gonna pop back there tomorrow because it will be the 26th and see if they have it, because it has sold out online. But if not, the regular version of it looks just as pretty, so I'm not going to be that fussed if I can't get the sprayed edge version. But anyway, reading update for Wild Eyes. I definitely think this is going to be a 5-star. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like Skylar, and I do judge female main characters quite harshly, and I really like her. I'm loving the whole story. So we have the single dad and a celebrity romance, and I just love West. I can see why everyone loves him so much, and I just really like Skylar. Like, I feel like she's such a genuine female main character. It's feeling really sober because like 300 pages in and there's this like tension. They've had a couple of kisses, but like nothing much has happened, but you can just tell that they really like each other, and I'm just really anticipating them just like getting together. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a 5-star, and hopefully it's going to get me out of this slump. It is Thursday. Today I haven't actually read anything yet. It's just gone 4 o'clock I think, but my mum and I went out to like a town. It was about half an hour away to look around the shops, and then I'd been wanting to go to the Skirrid Inn. If you don't know, I think it's supposed to be the most haunted place in Wales, if not the UK. It's a 900-year-old pub, and I've seen a lot of videos. I've always wanted to go do like a ghost hunt, so as we were kind of nearby I wanted to go, so me and my mum went and we got a drink and just kind of like sat in the beer garden and had a bit of a look around, and it did feel kind of eerie, but I'm not sure whether I was like seeing and feeling things because I knew it was supposedly haunted, or if I was like actually experiencing some. But I also picked up some books. I went back to the works and I finally found Nightshade. I love this edition. It has gorgeous sprayed edges and it has holographic writing on it. And then I picked up 3 books in the charity shops. So I found Trusting Blake by Estelle Mascamy, Hardwired by Meredith Wilde, and this was a pretty good find as well. I found The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune hardback. I've heard a lot of good things about this and I don't really know if it would be my kind of thing, but I always say I really want to expand my genres just out of regular romance, and I don't think this is. I've heard this book will make you think a lot, so I just thought it might be something a little bit different, and I've been wanting to try this author because I also own Wolfsong, which I haven't yet read, and I've just counted and I have bought 12 books whilst I've been away. But I had specifically been saving for this trip to be able to buy a load of books on HMY. I didn't find a ton there obviously, but there's some good charity shop finds. But yeah, today is our last day, so I think we're gonna chill here for a little bit and then we're gonna try and go out for dinner again, and then obviously we leave early tomorrow morning, so I'm going to try and do a little bit more reading now. I wanted to try and finish Wild Eyes today, but I don't think that's going to happen. By what I said yesterday, I still think that this is definitely going to be a 5 stars. I am loving West and Skylar. Yesterday I didn't actually read any more of Wild Eyes. As you can tell, we are now home, so I got up to chapter 30, which is page 321, so I obviously won't do any more kind of vloggy bits for the minute because we are now home, but I will update you when I finish this book with my final thoughts, review and rating. It is the next day, it's like 7 o'clock in the evening, so I'm apologising for the odd lighting, but I finished Wild Eyes last night and it is totally a 5-star read. I feel like it could be in the running to be added onto the all-time favourite books list. I did really love it. I was, as I said, kind of nervous going into it because I'd heard some things about the female main character, and as someone who judges female main characters quite harshly, I loved her. So for me to read a book and end up loving the female main character, that's saying something. Definitely my favourite in the Rose Hill series so far. The first book, World Love, is probably my least favourite Elsie Silver book. Like, I gave it 4 stars, so it is still really a really good book, but to me it's probably my least favourite of hers. So I'm so excited that this was a 5-star. I just loved it so much. Although I could kind of see the third act breakup coming, it didn't take anything away from the story for me, and yeah, I just absolutely loved it. So I am gonna end the vlog here. So thank you so much for watching if you are still here at this point, but let me know if you have read any of the books that I have mentioned in this vlog. Did you like them? Were they 5 stars or were they DNFs? I would love to hear. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you again next week.